Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Darksiders 2. We come back to grind down this fight against Thane at a really early level. You saw the start of it before. The other thing that he does now that he's at low health is this 3-hit combo. It's a 3-hit shockwave combo. And that's it. Extremely predictable in how he telegraphs all of his moves, very easy to dodge.
Well, battle one should never go unrewarded. You got lucky. Mayhaps I am too old to do this.
Age isn't everything.
So, you can fight an old warrior, but to earn your name you'll have to do better than that. Baethir, Echidna, Argyll, these are what we makers call death. You kill them all, and mayhaps I will grant you are the true Reaper.
Sounds like a challenge. If I'm to be your executioner, I would hear more of those that I'm to kill.
I will tell you what I know.
Where can I find Baethir?
Baethir and her kind once ranged across the Forge lands, hunting us like cattle as we made this world our home. One by one, we hunted down and slayed the fell beasts. But Baethir, she made herself a deep burrow and slithers out only to feed. I only know that she's a beast of fire and smoke, and that she's made her lair beneath the earth.
What of Gorwood?
Once, Gorwood was a friend to my people.
Then why seek my aid?
Corruption has taken our forest, and Gorwood is a being of that old wood. Where one goes, so goes the other. Gorwood is filthy with corruption. He must be put down.
Even I know the name Echidna. Why do you seek her death?
An old debt, forged before your time.
All know the Shadow Realm of Echidna. Why do you not travel there and kill her?
I have tried, only to find her realm in chaos. The Spider Lords had bathed her throne in blood, and Echidna was nowhere in sight. I spent years following her trail to the realm of the dead. Then, all this happened. I returned home to my people, and left old debts unpaid.
Tell me about Argyll.
A madman, a beast in need of killing. I had sight on the deed myself, when the current Lord of Bones rose up and defeated the mad king of the undead.
Then Argyll is no more.
My bones have always told me otherwise. The old king lives. I'm sure of it.
So beating him doesn't impart much of a reward as much as it does more work to do. It kicks off all the side quests to beat the side dungeons like the Weeping Crag. And we did get a hefty amount of experience, so that's not too bad. Next up, we're going to turn in the Heart of the Mountain side quest. Why do I keep calling that a side quest?
Horsemen, the fire of the mountain flows again.
Yes, freed by my hand. And calm.
Karn? That pup? Why, he hasn't a clue. And yet, the forge burns once more. You know what awaits you, Ryder. To finish this, you must restore the tears.
I'm not your errand boy, maker.
Aye, but our fates are now yoked. Help us, and we will help you. In the meantime, take this. It might be of use.
Now this pistol. It belongs to my brother, Strive. How came it here?
I cannot say, but there are other goods you may barter for now as well. Restore the tears, then return to me.
You said there were two things that powered your forge, fire and tears.
Yes, fire to wake the earth, and tears to calm it. Both gifts of the Stone Father.
And fire will not be enough.
Nay, we require both.
Where might I find the tears of the mountain?
To the west, past the fjord and into the Drench Fort, you will find the tears within. Browse around. We have new items.
Yeah, but nothing good. We got the gun. Death has his own the gun now. It's Redemption, which actually belonged to Strife, another one of the horsemen. This gun is a Wrath engine. Fire off a whole magazine, watch your Wrath build up. It's beautiful. The thing about Wrath is that it sucked in Darksiders 1. It built up really slowly. You harvested it off of dead enemies, and you could occasionally refill it from chests. I'm trying to see if there's... No, I guess because this is the other side of the Stonefather's Veil. It's not really worth fast traveling to that point, to the forest. What was I saying about the Wrath? Other than that it sucked in Darksiders 1. Oh, and any ability that you used, that used Wrath in that game, tended to use huge chunks of it. So what would typically happen is you would deplete yourself really quickly. And it meant constantly holding back on Wrath attacks. You didn't get to play around with those abilities very much. But Wrath in Darksiders 2 works way differently, as you've seen. You regenerate it a little bit with every hit. And you can build the bar up pretty quickly, especially with how adroit and fleet of foot that Death is in combat. He's got a lot of good, fast, multi-hitting moves, generates a lot of Wrath for himself, and he could stock up to 5 Wrath potions.
But no good came of it.
If you're really going, don't let me stop you. Exploring's a wondrous thing. You never know what you might find. For instance, should a bit of armor turn up, it's likely some misplaced some years back. If you can find it, I'll be in your debt.
What can you tell me about the Tears of the Mountain?
The Dinich Fort lies just beyond this barrier. It was the first thing taken by corruption. We sealed the Stonefather's tears inside, fearing what would happen if they spread.
If I do as Alia asks, you'll soon find out.
Aye, and the realm will be better for it. Whether pure as rain or black as sin, the tears will end this stalemate.
It's odd how I often find you standing.
Without the Tree of Life, horseman, I'm trapped here just like you. A fortunate few slipped out before the tree was lost, like Ulthane.
And who is Ulthane?
He's just another maker. Has a big hammer is all. When he escaped, I feared to follow. And a good thing, too.
And why is that?
Well, you might still be looking for the cauldron if not for my courage and wit.
I actually forgot Karn moved out here. Here we're going to learn about another new mechanic, kinda. It's pretty obvious. Shooting the inert shadow bombs will detonate them. Easy peasy. So we would not have been able to access the next dungeon until we completed the first quest from the first dungeon to get the gun. Unless we wanted to do some sequence breaking, which is very, very possible. There's a lot of, like, silly infinite jumps and stuff in Darksiders 2. But I believe I was talking about Wrath. The guns in particular do an awesome job of refilling your Wrath gauge. So, in turn, you get to play with your abilities much more. What a novel idea, get to play with the things that you spent all of your hard-earned experience points on. It also creates a really tight gameplay loop in combat, where you're filling the bar, you're exhausting it a big, spectacular flurry, then fighting to fill the bar back up, so that you can repeat it if an enemy is still left standing. That also fits the general motif of Death being fast and aggressive. You aren't stuck, drained of resources for long stretches of time. One of the many ways in which Darksiders 2's combat feels so much better. Now we are not yet level 5, so we don't have our Reaper form, which is the equivalent of the Darksiders 1 Chaos form. So this thing's gonna take a second or two to pop like a zit. Those nests spawning the stingers they last a fair while. But gunshots do a number on the bugs they spawn. They can instantly be killed, just like the smaller enemies of Darksiders 1, with an execution, which we haven't seen that many of. It's not quite as common in Darksiders 2. But I think I like the Darksiders 2 executions a little bit more, especially with the that nice flourish of the Reaper form and the various, like, they're almost like the demons, the Wicked Weaves in Bayonetta, the way they come out. Adds a nice flourish to those finishes. We're gonna pop up here real quick. And, oh, ambush. See the bombs all over the place. They're not going to do us a whole lot of good. You can detonate them to destroy some of the flies as they come at you. The stingers. I mean, these are not a threat on their own. What is a little bit more problematic is when these guys start joining the fray. Still, though, shouldn't be that bad. Whew. Jesus, some of the movesets are just so strong, especially the claw movesets, the gauntlet weapons, of which there are a couple of different classes. There's this normal claw, but there's also, it feels more like a subclass of the claw weapons, but they're bucklers. And their charge-up move is that they can block incoming attacks. And nothing to be gained from shooting these, I do believe. I think there may have been a token or a page that I missed up there. The other thing that we did by going through that passageway is we got to the other side of this gate, so we can now open that up. This reminds me of Hemwick Charno Lane. Except with no prowling executioners roaming the courtyard out here in the fjord. I think over here on the right there's a new character we're gonna meet. Who's gonna give us a new ability, even?
Oh, hello, Fleshling. Didn't see you there.
I was going to ask who you are, or rather what.
My name is Blackroot, and I am hungry.
For what exactly?
Only the finest stones. I have ways of attracting such morsels, but it has been centuries since any were in reach. I must wait here for my master. I will starve if someone doesn't help me.
Your people stand on the brink of destruction, and you ask me to feed you?
If it isn't too much trouble. Take this. It will guide the stone to you, so you can bring it to me. Then I shall eat it with great pleasure, and I will reward you.
You eat?
I am not like other constructs. In my form, life has taken root. It must be fed, or it will consume me.
How long have you been here?
I have been gathering my strength for centuries, and my roots run deep. That is my problem.
What about your master?
Of him I do not speak, nor do I remember. He left eons ago. Now I am trapped here.
So we're gonna help Blackwood out. His mouth moves like the Canadians on South Park. It's kind of bad. We now have the lore stone. Plus we have the gun, so we can collect these mystic stones.
So low.
You may have seen those stones of various colors strewn about, usually embedded in hard-to-reach places. Now we have the lore stone and the gun, so we can collect them just by shooting them. And then the lore stone will pull the dislodged fragment towards you. We aren't going to go out of our way to collect all of those, because that is horseshit. Oh, and my horse ate shit. Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh my, I didn't pay attention to my rat. So teleport strike was down. There are way too many of those things. Way too many. Yet another Darksiders 2 collectible. Every 3 of those Mystic Stones that you get can be turned in for a stat point upgrade. I'm gonna get them haphazardly only as I notice them. I'm really not gonna go out of my way to memorize their locations, to try to 100% them, even to go out of my way to just get them or look out for them. If I happen to notice one, sure, I'll shoot it down, why not? I mean, the upgrades are not that consequential at the end of the day. And any deficiency in your stats can really easily be made up for with how overpowered some of the weapons can be. I mean, they're not quite... I thought some of these were Mystic Stones. In fact, I thought there was one around here. It's not quite as bad as, like, the Korok Seeds to bring up Breath of the Wild again, but it's also not fun to find them either. Darksiders 2 has quite a love affair with mediocre collectibles. What we are on our way to now is the second dungeon of the game already, called the Drench Fort. We're gonna be passing by... In fact, we already passed it. A second dungeon, a second side dungeon, I should say. Which we would need the Darksiders 2 equivalent of the hookshot to finish up. It's the Shattered Forge. Instead, we're gonna head right into the Drench Fort. And we will probably set about doing that next time. The Drench Fort, the whole goal of it is to get the water flowing through the cisterns and the aqueducts. Which you can see, there's no water flowing in the dungeon. This water over here is just a stagnant pool. This place should be teeming with life. It should be crystal blue. But no. There's a fun little gimmick to the color palette in this dungeon we'll get into next time. It's a nice little compact water temple. I think we'll have to fight our way to the first door, though. Just through a couple of prowlers. Hey, there we go. Love these claw crossover attacks. Plus, it relaunches them. Oh, but he wound up on a ledge, so I couldn't continue the air juggle. We're gonna have to start this with... Ooh, listen to this music. Just one puzzle to start us off with. And this accomplishes 2 things. It reminds you of a mechanic that we learned about in the first dungeon, and it reinforces a mechanic that we had to use to get into this area, to the Shadow Gorge and here to the Drench Fort. Dislodging the bombs, dislodging the balls with the bombs, and the fact that the inert bombs can be shot for detonation. So, yeah. It's a really simple puzzle, but it's good game design to reinforce a couple of things, especially because these are central mechanics of the Drench Fort. It's not necessarily supposed to be hard, it's just teaching you and reminding you, driving something home. And that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll do the Drench Fort next time. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.